My name is Gitte Jensen and I'm the Research Director at NIS Labs. At NIS Labs, we specialize in research on natural products and their effects on the body. We have done research on Body Pro 10, both at the cellular level and in a small clinical pilot study. I want to share some of the most interesting results with you. I want to talk about energy. Every single breath we take takes energy. Every thought we think, step we take, word we say takes energy. Our body is composed of trillions of cells and each cell needs to make energy. Our brain is one of the areas of our body that uses the most energy. The brain takes up only 2% of the space in our body, but it uses up to 20% of all our energy, more than any other area of the body. So when we don't have enough energy, people feel tired, unfocused, less productive. Their brain and other areas of the body suffer. The immune system is not as strong, and their heart and circulatory system is less efficient. Almost all of the body's energy is made inside every cell in our body in small bubbles called mitochondria. Each cell in our body may have hundreds of mitochondria, and it doesn't matter if a cell has 100 small mitochondria or 50 large mitochondria. Therefore, we talk about size in terms of the overall mitochondrial mass per cell. So I'm going to talk about mitochondria and their overall mass, effectiveness, and the importance of being resilient under stressful conditions. This is because Body Pro 10 affects all 3 points: size, effectiveness, and resilience. When we work with cells in the laboratory and we test their energy production and mitochondrial function, we use a small sample of human cells. We take that small sample of cells out of the body, typically from a blood sample. We place the cells in a liquid nutrients and we compare the cells that are treated in different ways. We can even stress the cells without harming the person the cells came from. Why does it matter how much mitochondrial mass we have in our cells? Well, the mitochondria are the powerhouses inside our cells. The more mitochondrial mass we have, the more energy our cells can make. And cells treated with Body Pro 10 doubled their mitochondrial mass per cell in 2 hours. Why does the mitochondrial efficiency matter for our cells? Again, like a car, we want the mitochondria to run smoothly. In order for the mitochondria to make energy, they must have an electrical charge. Just like when you plug in a lamp, there are 2 prongs, and the electricity flows from one to the other, powering the lamp. Mitochondria needs that electrical differential or charge to function. Adding Body Pro 10 to the cells improved this charge, and this is especially seen under stress. We need to have resilience under stress. We need the body to continue to make energy when the body also has to deal with stress, inflammation, and illness. When we tested the mitochondrial mass per cell under normal and inflamed conditions, we saw that inflammation reduced the mitochondrial mass per cell. The normal level is shown as a green line, and the level under inflammation is shown as a red line. When we added increasing doses of Body Pro 10 to the cells, we could reverse the damage caused by inflammation. You can see that at the highest dose tested, cells treated with Body Pro 10 and also exposed to inflammation were comparable to normal cells, shown by the green line. Body Pro 10 protected the mitochondrial function under stress. This slide shows testing for the mitochondrial membrane potential, which is a measure of the electrical charge that drives energy production. This slide shows data from cell cultures where there was a high level of inflammation. Body Pro 10 protected the mitochondrial function when the cells were inflamed. Cells treated with Body Pro 10 and then stressed by damaging free radicals were much more functional than cells not treated by Body Pro 10. This shows that Body Pro 10 helped reduce the damage to mitochondrial function from oxidative stress. So what is free radical stress and when is it bad for the body? We produce free radicals all the time as part of our body's normal functioning. We are also exposed to free radicals through pollution, UV radiation, and other environmental factors. When there are too many free radicals, our cells and tissue can get damaged. And also, our cells and tissue can't communicate properly. We can compare it to trying to send light signals from a lighthouse through a thick fog. Therefore, we need constantly to be able to neutralize the free radical stress. Antioxidants can neutralize free radicals. The free radicals are atoms or molecules that are trying to steal electrons from other atoms and molecules and causing damage and instability. An antioxidant is a compound that is capable of donating an electron and therefore can neutralize this potential for cellular damage. That is why the antioxidants in Body Pro 10 are so important. Body Pro 10 was tested for cellular antioxidant protection, and this test measures only those antioxidants that can penetrate into cells and protect them from free radical stress from the inside out. We showed that antioxidants in Body Pro 10 are able to get into living cells and protect the cells from the inside out when the cells were exposed to free radical stress. Not only does Body Pro 10 contain antioxidants that can enter into living cells, Body Pro 10 also inhibits the free radical formation by inflammatory cells. We saw a 40 to 50% inhibition of free radical formation. Think of a 40 to 50% reduction in the thick fog that made it difficult to see the lighthouse signal. When we study mitochondria in a clinical study, we use the same lab methods as what I have described for the cellular testing. In clinical trials, we feed the person Body Pro 10 or placebo, then we take a blood sample and study their cells in the laboratory. Body Pro 10 was studied in a small clinical pilot study. The study design was randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. It was a pilot study with 12 people, and we used a crossover study design, which is important because each person was his or her own control. Each person consumed Body Pro 10 on one day and placebo on another day. Body Pro 10 works fast. Changes were seen in 2 hours. Body Pro 10 also showed sustained long-term effects. When we took small samples of cells from the blood of study participants and went into the lab to test the mitochondrial activity, there was a positive change in the mitochondrial activity just 2 hours after consuming Body Pro 10. In contrast, the same people consuming placebo and sitting and resting for the same time in the same clinic showed a decrease. People felt different. Already at 2 hours, people felt more energy after consuming Body Pro 10. In contrast, they felt less energy after consuming placebo. People felt an increase in mental focus after consuming Body Pro 10. This is important. Remember, the brain takes up only 2% of the body, but it uses 20% of our energy. People also felt an increase in mental functioning after consuming Body Pro 10. So to round up, I want to go over the conclusions both from the cellular studies and from the clinical pilot study. The conclusions we can make at the cellular level is that Body Pro 10 increases the mitochondrial mass per cell, makes mitochondria more efficient, and makes them more resilient, especially under stress. We saw protection of mitochondria both under free radical stress and under inflammation. In addition to that, Body Pro 10 contains antioxidants that can provide cellular protection and inhibits free radical formation. Our conclusions from the clinical study are that Body Pro 10 supported increased mitochondrial activity. This is measurable in the lab and we see it in our daily lives. People felt more energy and felt more focused. So, not only do good things happen inside the cells, but people experience the effect rapidly. All of these studies were small in scale. The results are extremely promising. Body Pro is planning to use the data gathered from these initial studies to conduct a larger human clinical study to further confirm these preliminary findings.